a wild, wild ride it has been. It feels like just yesterday and yet a lifetime ago that we loaded up a very small amount of our belongings and hit the road and moved to Southwest Colorado, leaving behind many dearly beloved people in Las Vegas, where we have lived our entire marriage. It has been a crazy journey with lots of ups and downs. This is what we call the neighborhood tree stump llama.
We call it the tree stump llama because when it puts its head down, it looks kind of like a tree stump. And the first time we saw that, we were like, whoa, look at the pattern on that. And then he put his head down. He's like, let's take a picture now.
One of the first things that we did when we arrived, after buying new bikes for all of the kids and, of course, getting a library card, was to hit one of my favorite museums, Pioneer Town, which is right at the heart of town and is one of the most complete and amazing collections I've ever seen of late 1800s, turn of the century stuff, clothing, farming implements, really anything you can imagine. There is so much scope for the imagination here, as Anne Shirley would say. And isn't that just at the heart of homeschooling? Just seeking out those places and experiences that will be scope for the imagination. We must have said 1,000 times while we were here, just imagine that you were on this wagon and it took weeks instead of hours to travel across 2 states. Imagine you were those kids who found that prehistoric head of a dinosaur or some kind of sea creature, I forget which, or looked up on the ceiling when you were exploring a cave and discovered the dinosaur footprint, which you'll see in a minute. You can imagine how happy this homeschooling mama was to learn that there is no internet at our rental house up in the beautiful mountains. We've been doing lots of puzzles, playing lots of chess, and of course, spending lots of time outdoors making incredible nature discoveries, mainly in my dad's garden. Here's some eggs we found from some bug, and we thought we would put them in a jar with the leaves from the plant we found it on, see if we could watch them hatch and figure out what they were. Then we promptly forgot about it, and everything in the jar died. My dad's is such a calm, peaceful place, and his garden is an absolute balm to my soul, and I'm learning so much. We've spent hours and hours in this garden every day, just soaking in years and years of loving care and artistry and just decades of knowledge that's been poured into this garden. I appreciate it so much. It's the perfect waiting room for me as we are waiting for the house that we're buying to close. I was just itching to spend time in the beautiful June sunshine and garden my little heart out. And of course, the boys have been put to work helping Grandpa with some projects that he's been needing done for some time. He has not been well for a few years, and he loves to have things neat and tidy and proper. So these are some things he really needed done. We're laying some flagstone. These are walking onions. I know nothing about walking onions except that they look awesome. So I need to do a little bit of research and see about maybe harvesting those. I wish I had done some more time stamped, time progressive videos of this garden. I've already cut back and harvested a ton of that rhubarb. And what you're seeing in these beds has changed so much. I planted some sweet potatoes, some beans, some cantaloupe. The kids and I have just enjoyed being out in the sun. Everybody here is complaining about how hot it is, which just makes us laugh because it feels like paradise to us. And we've loved every moment planting seeds, switching out some of the dirt in the beds. I have some footage to make more detailed videos for you on how we're doing that. My dad has taught me so much. And so I look forward to doing some videos on some of the specific things we've done. We love watching the little critters go about their business in my dad's garden. It's a haven for pollinators, even these wasps. And up at our rental house, the fun never stops with the kids going out in the woods and bringing home nature's treasures. It's just incredible. At my dad's, there's a little art room that is dedicated, and so we slap on some Glad press and seal to our clothes, head out there with the windows open so the breeze is coming through, and do all the messy stuff that I would not allow to occur at the rental house, which has a herd of cows. We're loving these cows. They don't enjoy being petted on the head, but we try nonetheless. They do enjoy being fed carrots and sweet potatoes. This is the beautiful walking trail on the little creek that runs through town, and the library has set up a book. So it's one of those explore a book things where you read a page every so often on the trail. Back home, we have really struggled to get back in the swing of doing morning time. I've discovered that these dot to dots with numbers up in the hundreds are a huge hit. They really help the kids focus. We had kind of a grouchy, difficult day. Nobody was really in the mood to get their school done. And it was just one of those days. So we've come up on the Grand Mesa to enjoy a hike around the lake. This is a treat. Wild columbines, the Colorado state flower. Oh, how I missed them. The mesa is everything I remember from childhood. The fish biting, clear water, beautiful sunshine, wild strawberries, wild raspberries, just a place to take a deep breath and reflect on life. This move has not been without its challenges. Anybody who's cared for an aging parent will know the joys and sorrows that come with that. And I'm so grateful that this beautiful spot is here for us to enjoy. We're also enjoying Alan's parents who made it for the 4th of July with all of their toys and have taken the kids on many adventures. They love going with Grandpa. And of course, there's always a couple boys willing to ride 5 miles into town to my dad's place, the other grandpa who lives here, whom we've come to be close to. I didn't think they would make the 5 miles, but they have several times. We've been cooking from scratch a lot because we have the time, and we're enjoying every minute of that, every bite. Of course, we were so excited to hear that we have finally closed on the purchase of our new home down in town, but boy, are we going to miss the gorgeous views up at this rental house. This is taken from the back of Alan's parents' RV. Just look at the night sky on the 4th of July. We got to watch several cities put off their fireworks because you can see for 100 miles or so. We're really going to miss this place. Where else can you have an outdoor movie theater with the sunset behind you? I hope the kids never forget this. This was a really fun night, and it gave me an uninterrupted hour to try to work on this video that I've been trying to produce for, it feels like, the past year. If I haven't talked about morning time for moms, I'm sorry. I should have talked about morning time for moms. So many of you are familiar with Cindy Rollins, who wrote Mere Motherhood. She's an author, speaker, and just all around wonderful lady who raised and homeschooled 8 boys and 1 girl, homeschooling through the 80s and 90s before it was cool and there were lots of resources, and is arguably one of the world's best experts on the Charlotte Mason philosophy of homeschooling. Obviously, I'm a huge fan. And she has this wonderful group called Morning Time for Moms, and I signed up for it. So we've been doing a lot of the wonderful, rich things that you would do with your kids in a morning basket, but it's just a group for moms. The theme this year has been laughter and lament. And if that doesn't sound like the most perfect theme for me and my family right now, I don't know what does. It's been so enriching and painful and joyful and wonderful to be a part of this group. I have dropped the ball, understandably, many times because obviously we're supposed to be meeting live, twice a week to discuss books and art and poetry and all of these things. And I've instead been packing up half of our belongings and, driving 2 states away. But nevertheless, I knew that going in when I signed up for the group that it would be that way. And of course, everything's recorded, so I can get back to it. But this really has been a season of laughter and lament for me and the family. I know I'm going to miss Las Vegas. Right now, we're still on a high. It's all novel. It's July now. Everything is in full bloom. So many of my dreams are coming true. The kids are having a blast. And we, had a going away party. We said our goodbyes. And so it feels like we had closure and we're moving on in this new stage of our lives. But I do know the day will come that it'll hit us and we're going to miss Las Vegas so much. It's not a season without lament. So I wanted to be with you, those of you who are also in a season of lament, to remind you that it's also okay to feel joy. And if you've walked this life long, you know that parenting has its ups and downs, and sometimes those ups are way up, sometimes those downs are way down. And sometimes we feel like if there's something in our life that we should be lamenting and mourning, that we can't also do that properly if we're finding joy in other things. I don't know where we picked up this notion, but it's crazy. Don't do that to yourself. I had to stop doing that to myself. We've had some really genuinely hard, difficult times in parenting and in homeschooling, and we're walking into some more, but the joy is still there. One thing that we've been doing in the morning time for Moms Group is reading through the Psalms and Lamentations. And this is so plain to see and crystal clear now that I'm slowing down to pay attention, that this is the human condition, and this is the appropriate response to life of a child of God. To cry out in lamentation to God and simultaneously praise Him and embrace the joy and the goodness around you. If you're in one of these seasons of life, I just want you to know I'm with you, and God is with you. And go ahead and cry your ugly tears, and then go ahead and laugh and embrace the goodness around you as well. Thanks for watching.